a couple of glimpses into the mind of Biggie. I just love this exchange. He said he owes a caller an apology. We had just teased. There's a story coming up about a fisherman who found a 90-million-year-old fossil. And a caller called and said, I guess that 90-million-year-old fossil was a bone buried by Chris Demm's first dog. And Biggie had not put it together. I had done the tease, 30 seconds earlier. He's like, I don't know what you mean, man. Yeah. And the guy says, that 90-million-year-old fossil was probably buried by Chris Demm's first dog. Now Biggie gets into producer mode and gives the laugh.
Fake laugh.
Yeah. I get it.
Good one.
Not enough to make it to the air.
Nope. But
a ha-ha, thank you for calling.
A ha-ha, thank you. But just before he hangs up, he says,
yeesh.
Apologies.
Biggie, is there anything you'd like to say?
I would like to apologize. I try my best to save my judgment of jokes until after I've hung up the phone on the person.
That's not pretty good. It's not a bad joke. I
see where he's going.
Yeah.
Well, I almost connected the
90-million-year-old fossil.
Yes.
To Dr. Ruth Westheimer, another callback from that same segment.
But I couldn't do it because I couldn't figure out how to do it. I mean, I was on the edge of it, and I thought, no, I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to
bargain bin it.
I'm going to bargain bin it, which is one of my worst moments ever. 10 items. It's the bargain bin. And people keep coming up to me now at stores, and they say, I figured I'd catch you over at the bargain bin. 10 items. It's the bargain bin. That joke came from a story about a guy who laid his penis up on the scanner at a grocery store.
Mm-hmm. And in your head, you thought 10 inches or less.
10 inches.
Got it.
Yeah. But I was hurrying. I was rushing. We were coming to the end. We're going to commercial break. 10 items. It's the bargain bin.
It keeps giving, though. It's been given for years.
When you hear each wheel fall off up in the entire vehicle.
I wanted to make a bargain bin. It's not worth what you're paying for it type of joke, but 10 items. It's the bargain bin.
Now you know what I said. Yeesh.
That's right. That's right. So, and then the other glimpse inside Biggie, this is interesting to me. He says, today's the first day that Starbucks is serving pumpkin spice latte, which I don't like. And I always
one
think,
ear out of the other couch.
Excuse me. I don't care about pumpkin spice. I just don't like the flavor and the fact. And I'm one of these guys too. Is like, it's August.
Yeah, you harumph.
Why?
Yeah.
It needs to be October. They need to start this in a month at the least.
That's the way it's going to be.
I know, and already I see Christmas decorations at Costco.
That's the way it's going to be.
I don't want
after Thanksgiving.
I'm not doing. Yes, it should be the day after Thanksgiving. Yeah. All right, I'm losing that battle. We know that. So Biggie says I'm on a diet. He and I together have lost 85 pounds.
Yeah.
Any
updates?
Yeah, we've lost 86. Well, I've lost 86.
Kelly?
Well, we've lost 84 together.
Look at you. All right.
So we're almost at 85 pounds.
That's amazing.
I don't talk about it much. I don't like to brag about it. But the two of us together, accountability buddies, we join this, No,
you got to celebrate the victories.
You're right. Yeah. Journey for our health, together. And Biggie says, I like pumpkin spice latte. Today's the first day. I'm going to have one, but I have to plan it in my day.
He's been talking about it for an hour.
Yeah.
This is this is a national holiday, and I only recognize Starbucks.
Jesus.
It's been out at Dunkin' for a while, but Starbucks to me was the original.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister and I have always loved everything pumpkin spice. I denied it for years, tried to make jokes about it, but now I embrace it.
I've not seen. I did not expect so much of a tween girl.
I know.
Absolutely.
Out of this room.
Because he said, well, I've got to really plan it because it's 200 and some calories and it's 30 grams of sugar. And we were like, So I said to Biggie, is it worth 30 grams of sugar? You like it that much?
Oh, yeah.
Well, can I ask you this, Biggie?
I didn't know.
In a pre-Biggie 2.0 year, pumpkin spice season, how many would you consume? One a week?
Somewhat.
One a day?
Are they pricey?
They are kind of pricey. At least one a week, and normally on weekends where I would go.
Put on your Uggs and your yoga pants.
Yeah, I would. Exactly.
Yep.
And my Uggs and my yoga pants, I would wander over.
Yeah.
But I always got one on
your
the
hair
very
is scrunchy.
first day.
Yeah. got one the first day you celebrated.
Yep.
Yeah.
I always got one on the first day, but I never have looked at the sugar, the calories. Well, that's what I do now. So for the first time ever, I wandered over to the Starbucks nutritional facts.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm taking a look, and I'm like, oh, man.
30 grams of sugar.
And this was the size I'm
Nobody
looking
ever
at.
clicks this page.
No one wants to know.
Wake up. Somebody wants to know what's in the coffee.
Some web developer had to start typing real quick.
30 grams of sugar.
grams of sugar in this.
I don't know, 30.
know.
And on top of this, normally I'd get the venti, which is like the biggest one. And, just love it. But now I'm even downgrading that. But I'm just I'm doing it. Like I'm doing it today, but I'll just have to plan it into my day. I mean,
Which
that's
means
basically
you'll have to give something we'll have to give.
Well, that's basically like all my added sugars.
That's
for
your
the day.
sugar. That's it. That's
Yeah.
right.
That means nothing but raw veg and fruit for
Yeah,
the
it's
rest
gonna
of the day.
it's gonna be a chicken and vegetable kind of day.
Starbucks, they've done it so brilliantly. They get so much free advertisement from it. I mean, all they did was put it on the menu, and now it's like, oh, it's BSL. I mean, it's become such an industry of its own because of them.
And you just
everybody else
wait.
has to catch up.
I know Duncan has to put it out early.
Duncan put it out, yeah, and but Starbucks has such a hold that I'll sit there, I'll Google, and they won't announce it till like the day before, like tomorrow's the day,
I mean, it's
and then it's on.
What's happening?
it's really brilliant. It's brilliant on their part, but I'm not a Starbucks fan, so it just makes me angry.
No,
When people talk about it, like,
That's perfectly normal.
Oh yeah, when I leave today, you're gonna be like,
Can't you
look
just
at
silently
him.
judge?
That's right.
There he goes off to get his pumpkin spice latte.
to get his milkshake.
It's August.
That's right. It should come out October 1st, and that's it. Go through, and then it should go only October and November, and then December 1st they should have whatever Christmas drink they have.
Peppermint.
The peppermint on Christmas on 1st of December or right after Thanksgiving. Oh my God! Don't get me started on
I'm gonna
this.
start calling you and Dave the Joy Stealers.
I'll
That'd be a
steal all
pretty
the
good comic
joint.
book.
That's our band or our that should be our podcast.
There you go.
We should take all the things people love and tell you why it's wrong
Yes.
and what's bad about it. That's what I want.
I love
to do.
stealing joy from Starbucks.
So
That's
do I.
fun.
So do I. All right, let's start a Demm
All right.
report here. Yes.
Well, chances are, if you are married, if you've ever been married, you remember your honeymoon. Well, there's one couple in Florida that will never forget their honeymoon. It almost sounds too fake to be real. Last week, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office announced they'd made a bunch of arrests over the summer. They were doing human trafficking / prostitution stings. Good for them. One of those cases stood out. 34-year-old Paul Turovsky got married on the 15th of July. He and his new bride live in Fort Myers, but they honeymooned in Tampa. Biggie's a big fan of the Tampa area. At some point, the new Mrs. Turovsky fell asleep in the couple's hotel room, and Paul, still awake. So he grabbed his phone or laptop or device and started perusing the old internet.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, through a series of a couple of clicks here, a couple of likes there, he happened upon an ad, a very personal ad, placed by what he did not know was the sheriff's department. He clicked the link to set up a meeting at a nearby hotel where he thought he'd be purchasing the sexual favors of a prostitute, while his bride slept next to him in the hotel bed.
On his honeymoon. On his honeymoon.
So, of course, he goes to the hotel.
Yeah.
They're all cops there. He left in handcuffs.
What kind of idiot? What is wrong with him?
What can you say about a man like this?
That's the 1 week you get as much sex as you want. Why is he prostituting? What's the point?
Why is he getting married?
Just the
Yeah,
thrill.
why get married?
I don't know.
The thrill.
Yeah.
Is that what you say?
Maybe it's the thrill.
A little something different.
Well, maybe he's addicted to sex or something. Just can't help
perhaps.
himself. I mean, people can hide that stuff.
He could have woken her up and said, let's have
Yeah.
sex. I mean, it's the honeymoon.
You didn't want it from her.
I guess not. But then he shouldn't have married her, like you said.
Yeah.
Exactly. We go round and round all day.
The joy stealers.
I knew a guy one
On
time.
this edition of Joy Stealers, they take the fun out of prostitution.
Look, folks, we call them like we see 'em. Like a good ump.
That's right. That's right.
Let's get these two's hot take on marriage.
Now, let's say this. A friend of mine got married once, and he's actually been married at least twice, maybe 3 times. But he told me he got divorced the first time after like 3 or 4 years. And he told me he knew it wasn't going to work because they went on a 2-week honeymoon, and they only had sex 3 times. And he said she was not interested in sex, and we only had sex 3 times in 2 weeks. Is that too little on a honeymoon of 2 weeks? Does seem like a small amount.
For 2 weeks on the honeymoon.
Yep. I think 6 or 7. That's every other day.
How long have they been dating and engaged?
They engaged about a year. They dated a year before that.
And they didn't have that sort of issue before? I mean, I'm not sure that the honeymoon is the deal breaker. You would think compatibility or communication.
Well, all he said to me when they got divorced was, I knew it wasn't going to work on the honeymoon. We only had sex 3 times in 2 weeks. Oh, okay. I don't know.
I knew a guy once who said that they had tons of sex before the wedding. You hear this complaint a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But after, and she even said, well, I don't have to do this anymore.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Then that only lasted a couple years.
Exactly. You know what the cure is for sex? Wedding cake.
Yeesh.
I'm sorry, I can't tell a joke. I don't know. 10 items are it's the bargain bin. I'm sorry. Don't they say, you know what quells a woman's sexual drive? Wedding cake. That's what they say.
That's what they say.
You know that joke? You ever heard that joke
There's
before?
something that a woman can wear that kills her sexual desire. It's called a wedding ring.
Or a white dress.
It's the bargain bin. I can't tell a joke. As soon as you said that, I was like, I'm going to tell that wedding cake joke. And right in the middle of it, I was like, no,
Wow.
this is ridiculous. This is awful.
I want out of the Joy Killers.
This is awful. I just stole joy from a great joke.
Yeah.
I just took a great joke and just sucked all the joy and fun out of it. I knew in the middle of it, I was like, this is going to be awful.
Yeah.
This is going to be absolutely awful.
Why did you go there anyway?
I don't know. It was like bargain
Bargain
bin.
bin.
I should have
Once you
learned
started,
it.
you can't turn the car around.
10 items are. It's the bargain bin. That's right. That's where we go with that.
That's beautiful.
That's a pretty good joke, I think, though, that wedding cake joke.
Yeah.
When told properly.
Yes, in the hands of a master.
That's right. Let's say that. That's right.
A woman in South Carolina was making dinner for her family in Gaffney Saturday night when she was shot and killed. Here's the twist. She's Keisha Tate. She was shot and killed by her next-door neighbor, but he didn't know it. He's 30-year-old Nicholas Lucas. Nicholas was in his backyard with one of his guns taking target practice, but he missed. At least one bullet struck poor Keisha, killed her on the spot.
My God.
Nicholas, by the time the law arrived, was found to be under the influence. He was drunk, so he has been now charged with involuntary manslaughter and, this is a new one on me, shooting under the influence.
Well, if you can't drive under the influence, you shouldn't be allowed to shoot under the influence.
Pulled for SUI.
So I suppose that's fair.
If he had done this stone cold sober, any charges or just
I
bad
would think
accident?
involuntary
I would
manslaughter.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be.
And then, to make things worse, the family later said, we'd been worried about this guy. He'd been shooting his backyard all summer
Oh,
long.
my God.
Yeah.
How terrible. What a waste. Anonymous, you're talking about marriage. Go ahead. Yes.
So a wise man once told me that if you put a quarter in a jar the first year you're married, every time you have sex, that every year after that, if you take a quarter out every time you have sex, you'll never empty the jar.
That's probably right. That's
told.
That's probably exactly right. Yep. Yep. I'm not going to make any
You going to
comment.
try that at lunch on Friday with the crew?
I might. Let me think about that. We're having
Quarters in the jar. Quarters in the jar.
Quarters in a jar. Quarters in a jar.
You'll never empty the jar. Never. I got it.
We're having an employee appreciation lunch on Friday. I'm gonna walk
That's a little
that
blue
Yeah, a
for
little
the
bit.
That is.
especially a new test of the new HR department.
I'll I'll do my Monica Lewinsky joke.
There you go.
And I'll lead into it. See Bill Clinton over to U.S. Open. Sitting with Ruth Westhoff. Hey, you heard about Monica Lewinsky, didn't you? Then I'll do my joke.
Yeah.
I'll do my. God, that's a great joke.
Yeah.
I cannot tell on there. It's too blue.
Yeah.
But somebody, I emailed it to somebody, and they got a kick out of it. They thought it was really good. You know the one about the dry cleaner?
Yes,
The dry
yes.
cleaner.
Dry
and then
cleaner.
the
That's
ketchup.
I've been memorizing that one forever. That's a good joke. I like that joke.
Yeah, it's all right.
I think it's a good joke. One of these days I'll tell it.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit blue. Don't you think? A little blue?
It's borderline.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get away with that one.
And finally, a woman working as a meat packer in New York was arrested for tampering with the product. Police in Long Island say 38-year-old Karen Gutierrez was on the line at the Ava company, AVA, when she allegedly removed a coin from her pocket and tossed it into the packages of meat. A coin. I don't know if it was a dare. She was trying to tamper with the food. Someone spotted her, thankfully, and the company stopped the line, discarded all the meat from her section. So
Every
she's
bit of it? You just not
Yeah.
just that one steak or whatever she put in? No, you can't do it. You have to
you
have
can't.
all of it.
Yeah. So she's looking at charges of criminal mischief.
And fired.
Yeah, tampering with
I
food.
would think.
This is the
Remember when Laverne and Shirley put a
glove
on a beer bottle?
That was really cute.
And to wait till the end of the day till the line comes through.
Yeah, until it comes
to
through and
find
they
it.
get it. This is the 90 million year old fossil found by an Elkhorn, Nebraska man. He was fishing in a tournament in South Dakota, and he threw his line. He made his cast, and he did it very poorly, so he was upset. This is him talking about the casting, and said it was very bad.
Pitched my jig, and it's horrible. Like I'm like way left. I'm like, oh man.
So he goes over there to get. It gets caught on a rock, and he goes over to get the hook off the rock, and he thought, well, this is something different.
And I get up to it, and I'm like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. You know, I thought it was a big catfish skeleton or a deer skeleton, you know, and something told me to take a picture of it.
All right, that's Andy Moore. Okay, so he takes a picture of the fossil on a rock. He did not do very well in the fishing tournament. He posted the picture on social media, and all his friends were like, hey, man, you got something there.
He's like, dude, did you know that's a 90 million-year-old fossil that's in that picture? I'm like, what?
That's right.
Dude, it's 90 million years old. What?
What?
How many paleontologist friends does he have?
Yeah, a lot. He hangs out with the paleontologists.
got there.
Yeah.
Was he friends with Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
A lot of museum curators on his page going, dude, that's
You know what you found.
90 million years old. So then he thought to himself, I don't know where exactly that rock is. He just took a picture of it and left it there.
Oh, he left it.
And it's illegal. This was an interesting part of the story. It's illegal to take anything out of the Missouri River. So he knew he couldn't take it, and it was the rules of the tournament. So he clicked the picture, and that was it. He puts it on social media, and somebody told him, dude, that's a 90 million year old fossil you're looking at right there.
Yep.
So he wanted to confirm that. So he calls a biologist, and the biologist said, all right, take me to it. He goes, I can't. I don't know where it is. So the biologist looks
It's like
at
a secret fishing spot.
Yes, and they look at all his pictures from the day and sort of triangulate where he was, and they were able to find it. I say biologist, geologist.
There you go.
A geologist.
Some people can tell him, some can't.
10 items are. It's the bargain bin.
Science.
All right.
Biologist.
A
Let's
fish-
cut open a frog.
Let me try it. A fisherman, a geologist, and a biologist walk into a bar. No, the geologist finds out where the rock is. They go back out there, sees it, and it's confirmed.
The geologist guy saw it, and he's like, he just jumps out of the boat in his boots, you know, he goes up to it, he's like, oh my God, you know.
Oh my God, he took it.
Bro, put it back.
Can't take
It's in the Missouri.
Take it out of the river, man.
He took it in his arms, he cradled it. Oh my God.
Do you know what this is worth? Then his face melted.
That's right.
Turns out he was a Nazi.
That's right. His face melted right there where he stood. And the fisherman, Andy Moore, said, this is really awesome. When he found it, he's like,
It
oh,
is.
oh my God.
How freaking cool is this? You know, like I just caught something 90 million years ago that has never been seen by a human eye, let alone never been caught by an angler, a modern day angler.
He's a modern day angler. He pulls a 90 million year old fish fossil
Because of a bad cast.
out of the Missouri River because of a bad cast. Exactly. So the question was, you did poorly in the fishing tournament. Were you disappointed with that, or were you so happy with the find? And the answer is, I was thrilled.
I wasn't there to win the tournament. I was there to find that fossil. I mean, hands down.
That's what he was there
He,
to do.
Kelly, sounds like, was his name Matt?
Yeah, Andy Moore.
Andy
Yeah.
Moore. Sounds like he believes in your wife's philosophy. Everything happens for a reason.
Yes. The reason I was scammed by those pine straw scam artists is so that we would beef up security.
Thousands and thousands of dollars worth.
That's right. The reason that bat flew into our home, we're still waiting on that. We don't know the
To
reason.
fill up your car with garbage?
Yes, I filled up my car with garbage. Actually, I did that before.
Oh,
so I don't know
right.
why that bat went into our home.
Maybe
But
to get your chimney swept.
maybe.
They've never done that.
Maybe. Yeah, we're looking into all things now.